are listening to the Retina UK Talking Home and Garden Peer Support Group, recorded Thursday, the 26th of June 2025.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our second Talking Home and Garden Peer Support Group. My name's Mark Baxter. I'm the Information Support Coordinator, and I'm living with the inherited sight loss condition, retinitis pigmentosa. To my right is Caroline. She will be supporting me this evening with any questions that you may have on screen. Please use the comments box if you can. Please like this if you are listening to this via our YouTube channel. That will be much appreciated. And this evening, I'm going to be talking to you firstly about getting the most out of your smart home devices, or if you haven't got one and you're not sure which one to purchase, then we can have a discussion about the pros and the cons of both of these amazing devices and the array of different devices that both Google and Amazon provide. And I'll also have some Audible for you, which will identify some key accessibility features that you may or may not know about. And I will be using my trusty assistant, Gemini, to be giving you a short rundown on the top 10 accessibility features for both devices. So, as we come into the tech age, many of us may have a device, and we use them for all different types of helping with our daily lives. I myself have an array of the Amazon devices and also the Google devices as well. So the first one here, I'm going to audio describe. They're a few years old. So this is the Google speaker. This was one of the first gens that actually come out. This was the very first one that I actually got. So there we go. It's a nice little device. It's got a 360-degree speaker on it. It's got illuminated lights on the top that glow up when you get notifications. And it's been a cracking speaker ever since I've got it. So I upgraded this one to the one that I haven't actually got to show because it is actually plugged in, which is one that has the display on it. Now, I originally bought the Google display. It's now been since upgraded to the Google Nest Hub. And the good thing about the hub now is you can actually remove the screen and you can walk around with it like a tablet, just like you would the Google Pixel Tab, or, an iPad, or a Samsung tablet. Which is a really, really good feature if you wanted to be on the move while controlling your home and other devices as well. And it does actually sit on a very nice, again, 360-degree speaker. So if you're looking for a new tablet and you like Google products, then this may be a purchase worth looking into. All the devices that I will be sharing, I will be popping in links into the follow-up emails, so you can actually go away and you can have a little look for yourself to see which one's right for you. So the next one is one of my little favorites. These are the Google minis. It's literally about the size of a donut. It's got a speaker on the top, and you can twist your fingers around to control the volume. These are really good for bedrooms and your office and stuff like that, where you might necessarily not need one of the bigger devices. So that is the Google Mini. And so the Alexa that I actually got. So this is, it looks like a speaker. Again, it's probably about, I would say, 3 to 4 inches in diameter. And it's kind of like half an egg shape cut in half. And this is called the Alexa Pop. And it's mainly for music. And I tell you what, for such a small little device, it has got cracking sound. I really do like this one, and relatively inexpensive. Again, a nice little addition, if you like the Echo Dots, The Alexa Echo Pop is also a really good feature, especially if you like listening to your podcasts and your music streaming services as well. So they're just a couple of the smart devices that I've actually got and I've used, and I have to say that they're all really good. I pretty much got either a Dot or a Mini in each of my homes, and the good thing about the homes in in all of my rooms, sorry, in all of my rooms. And the good thing about them is they're all linked together. So if I'm listening to music downstairs, then they all can play the music simultaneously in each room. And if I want to play music across the entire house, then I've actually got what's called a routine set up, so they can actually play all of the house. So I just say, play music on house, and or play music downstairs, and it will just do the lot. So that's really good, especially when you're having a party or you're having friends around. It's nice to get music in every single room. I really like that feature. So moving on, I'm now going to share with you via Gemini some accessibility features, and I'm just going to fire her up. And so, Gemini, can you tell me the 10 accessibility features for the Google Assistive Smart Home devices? Thank you.
Google Home devices, powered by Google Assistant, offer a range of accessibility features that are particularly beneficial for the visually impaired. The emphasis is often on voice control and auditory feedback, reducing the reliance on visual interaction. Here are 10 key accessibility features for the visually impaired on Google Home Assistants. 1. Voice commands for core functionality. This is the most fundamental feature. Users can control almost every aspect of their Google Home device and linked smart home devices purely with their voice. This includes playing music, setting alarms, checking the weather, getting news updates, making calls, and more, without needing to navigate a screen. 2. Spoken feedback and responses. Google Assistant provides auditory feedback for all interactions. When you ask a question or give a command, the assistant speaks its response aloud, making it easy to understand the information without seeing a display. 3. Screen reader compatibility for smart displays like Nest Hub. While Google Home speakers are primarily voice-controlled, Google Nest Hubs, which have a screen, offer screen reader compatibility. This allows users to navigate the visual interface using spoken feedback and gestures, making the visual elements accessible. 4. Customizable audio and visual settings for smart displays. Users can adjust settings like font size, color inversion, and closed captioning on Google Home smart displays to improve visibility for those with low vision. 5. Smart home device control. Visually impaired users can use voice commands to control a wide array of compatible smart home devices, such as lights, thermostats, door locks, and security cameras. This enhances independence and safety by allowing control of the environment without physical interaction with switches or buttons. 6. Broadcast messages. The ability to broadcast messages to other Google Home devices within the same household can be incredibly useful for communication. For example, a visually impaired user could announce dinner is ready to everyone in the house, or ask for help from another room. 7. Routines. Routines allow users to string together multiple actions with a single voice command. For instance, saying good morning could turn on lights, play the news, and announce the weather, streamlining daily tasks and reducing the number of individual commands needed. 8. Reminders and calendar integration. Visually impaired users can easily set reminders and add events to their Google Calendar using voice commands. Google Assistant will then audibly remind them of appointments and tasks, helping them stay organized. 9. Information retrieval. News, weather, facts. Google Home excels at providing quick, audible answers to a vast range of questions. This allows visually impaired users to easily access information, stay informed about current events, and look up facts without needing to read. 10. Making calls. Google Home devices can make phone calls to contacts or businesses using voice commands, offering a hands-free way to connect with others. These features collectively empower visually impaired individuals to interact with technology and manage their daily lives with greater ease and independence.
Thank you, Gemini. So that was the Google devices. Now, Gemini, can you tell me the 10 accessibility features for the Amazon Alexa smart home devices?
Alexa-enabled smart devices, particularly Echo speakers and Echo Show displays, offer a robust set of accessibility features for the visually impaired, leveraging voice control and auditory feedback as primary interaction methods. Here are 10 top accessibility features for the visually impaired on an Alexa smart device. 1. Voice control for all core functions. Like Google Home, the fundamental strength of Alexa is its voice-first interface. Visually impaired users can control music playback, set alarms and timers, check weather and news, create shopping lists, make calls, and manage smart home devices purely through spoken commands. This minimizes the need for visual interaction entirely. 2. Spoken feedback and responses. Alexa provides clear, audible responses to all queries and commands. When you ask a question, Alexa speaks the answer, making information readily accessible without needing to read a screen. 3. Voice View Screen Reader for Echo Show. For Alexa devices with screens, like the Echo Show, Voice View is a built-in screen reader that provides spoken feedback as you touch and navigate elements on the screen. It reads aloud text, buttons, and other on-screen content, allowing users to interact with the visual interface through auditory cues and gestures. 4. Screen Magnifier for Echo Show. Echo Show devices include a screen magnifier feature that allows users to zoom in on portions of the display. This is highly beneficial for individuals with low vision, enabling them to enlarge text and images for better readability. It can be activated and controlled with gestures. 5. Color inversion and color correction for Echo Show. These features adjust the display's colors to improve contrast and readability for users with various types of low vision or color blindness. Color inversion can make white text on a black background, which can be less strenuous for some. 6. Customizable font sizes for Echo Show. Users can adjust the font size on Echo Show devices to make text larger and easier to read. This is crucial for individuals with low vision who may struggle with standard font sizes. 7. Smart home device control. Alexa integrates seamlessly with a vast ecosystem of smart home devices. Visually impaired users can control lights, thermostats, door locks, and other connected appliances with simple voice commands, enhancing independence and safety around the home. 8. Tap to Alexa for Echo Show. This feature allows users to interact with Alexa by tapping the screen instead of speaking. It presents preset shortcuts for common commands, like weather or news, and also allows users to type out commands. This is particularly useful for those who might have speech impediments or prefer a non-verbal interaction method at times. 9. Calling and messaging. Alexa-enabled devices allow visually impaired users to make and receive calls and send messages using voice commands. For Echo Show devices, there's also the option to read transcripts of messages and make calls by tapping the screen, which can be useful for individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing in addition to being visually impaired. 10. Alexa skills for the visually impaired. Beyond the core features, the Alexa Skills Store offers a wealth of third-party applications designed specifically for or highly beneficial to the visually impaired. Examples include Be My Eyes, connects visually impaired users with sighted volunteers for live video assistance. RNIB Talking Books, provides access to a large library of audiobooks for visually impaired users in the UK. Talking Newspapers, skills that offer audio versions of local and national newspapers. Audible/Kindle integration, easy access to a vast library of audiobooks and the ability to listen to Kindle books via text-to-speech. These features demonstrate Amazon's commitment to making Alexa devices accessible and empowering for individuals with visual impairments.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you very, very much, Gemini. So they are some of the accessibility features for both devices. Now, if people are not familiar with the screened devices, they do have a lot of additional features, like I mentioned, the Google Hub. Does have a removable screen, so you can carry it around with you, or you can dock it back onto the speaker if you just wanted to keep it as a display. You can also pick up all sorts of things like YouTube, and which is one of the good things. So you wouldn't necessarily need to use your smartphone, and it's all audible. So for example, I could say, "Hey G, show me Retina UK Home and Garden Peer Support Group recorded today," and it will actually find it, and then it will actually start playing out the audio. So you can actually use it kind of like a podcast type device as well, and I believe you can actually view your podcasts on it as well. So they are two of the screen displays. The one that I've got, I believe, is the smaller screen. You can actually get XL screens. So I believe they come in a 7-inch and up to about a 10 or 11-inch, depending on what model that you actually want. So that's just a little bit of a rundown in regards to the smart devices that you can actually purchase. Does anyone actually have any questions or anything that they want to share in regards to Alexas? Anything that I might have missed before I actually go on to show you some safety devices that you can you compare with your smart home devices?
Yeah, Ben's got his hand up.
Ben, you've got your hand up, buddy.
Hi. I was just about the voice view thing on the I think it's on the Alexa with the screen, you know, so I've actually had one of those for about, so I'm just going to turn my voice over. I've had one of those for about a year from the you know, wireless to the blind. I got one for like free. And I've never been able to use it because it just, I can switch it on, but I can't. When I say Alexa, nothing happens. I can't seem to. There's no voice feedback from the screen. So if anybody's got any ideas of how to set up the voice view or how to get it started,
Okay.
I mean, I've contacted Wireless to the Blind, but they didn't really understand my sort of message. So yeah.
No.
Sorry, Ben. Did you say that was an LED? Did you say it was an Alexa?
Yes.
I have to say, Amazon are phenomenal if you phone the help desk and talking you through stuff. Okay. Certainly, I had an issue not that long ago with Audible, and I now can't even remember what my problem was. And they were able to help me over the phone. You do get put through to America, but but actually they are phenomenal.
I mean, I thought it would just be something as easy as taking out the box, plugging it in, and then just say, you know, Alexa, turn on voice view or something like that. But I've tried everything.
Is it like an Alexa show you've got? Did you say it had a screen? A
screen, yeah.
I thought when they came out of the box, you just plugged and played, and then you had to link them to your your Wi-Fi.
I haven't sort of got. I was going to get like sighted assistance from my neighbour or something like that, but I just haven't sort of got around to it yet. So, but yeah, it just you know, sat there gathering dust at the moment for about a year. Yeah, I mean, I have got other devices, so I've not been so worried, but yeah, never mind.
I can we can provide you with like that Sharon said. I've had to call up the Amazon services to unlock a Kindle Fire Stick that I lost, and you know, I just rung them up and they were, like Sharon said, absolutely brilliant. And it was such a long time ago. He said, when did you do it? When did you buy it? And I'm like, oh, he says, this was going back years and years. And he just said, no, I found it. All I had was a couple of taps on his keyboard, and then bosh, it just fired up on our screen. It was pretty brilliant. So it's definitely worth giving them a call.
I will do, yeah. So did you say you've got an Alexa showcase thingy?
No, I haven't got the Alexa Show. I've got the Google Hub, which does pretty much similar things. You know, I've got quite an old version, so the newer one that's got more accessibility features, what Gemini suggested. But I can definitely look at into that for you, and anything that I find, I'll step-by-step guide of how to set it up and actually link it to your phone. Obviously, you've got to download the Alexa app. In order to and the same with Google's, you've got to download Google Home.
Oh yeah, I've got the app.
For them to work. But yeah, leave that with me, and I'll do a bit of research for you to see why that's not working. Oh, Caroline has kindly put the customer services number for Amazon into the chat, and Caroline, would you mind just reading that number out, just in case anyone wants to jot it down?
Yeah, sure. It's 0207 084 7911.
Caroline.
Excellent.
We can put it in the follow-up email as well.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, we'll make sure that that goes in there, and also I think they might have a web chat as well. So any customer support that we can offer for both devices, we'll put that in the follow-up. So not
Ben,
a problem.
I'm not thinking you're silly, but you have actually asked her to put it to volume 10 or something like that. That she's not sitting at 0 volume.
It's weird.
I think he's muted.
I think Ben must be muted. I'm just thinking it could be something as simple as that actually she's not at any volume level and she's just at 0. And obviously, if you're asking her a question, she's not going to respond because
I think it would be like a low volume because when it comes on dead loud. It makes sort of like a startup noise. And
so it is making a noise, right?
It is making a noise when it starts off, but there's no feedback or anything from the actual Alexa itself. Yeah, so.
Yeah, okay, just a thought, sorry.
Yeah, thanks for that, yeah.
No, I'll definitely look into that for you because there may be some sort of hidden settings in the Alexa app that, or actually on the show itself, where you have to enable, usually they're hidden away somewhere. And in order for you to actually say, hey, Alexa, you need to do a load of things first. So let me look into that for you. Not a problem at all.
Thanks.
Sandra just put in the chat, have you contacted BWFN, I'm guessing
British Wireless for the Blind,
to help connect, but I think you said you hadn't you?
I did. I did it by email, and then they replied back, and they just didn't understand my original sort of message. So
we'll get it sorted for you. There's no point having these amazing smart devices if you can't utilize them and use them. So we'll make sure we'll get that up and running for you. That's what this group's about. So does anyone ever got no worries? Have we got anything else? Oh, sorry.
Yes, that's Sue.
Hi, Sue.
We've got I've got an Echo Dot, which I got quite a long while ago. And we've also got a Google Pod, I think. It's sort of round.
Mm-hmm.
You know that? It looks like a little orange.
Yeah.
But how do you look up what these things do? Because they're there, but I sort of don't really know what to do with them.
It depends exactly what you want them to do, so you could say and Google, like I get a lot of my knowledge from Google and Alexa themselves. If I want to find out something,
oh, I see.
You can just say
things. I think that's what I'm just not very aware of kind of what it does.
Yeah, what games can you play? What can you do to help me? What devices are compatible with you? And obviously, if you go into the Google Home app to add a device, the list of smart companies that you can link your Google to is just endless. So there's lots of companies out there that are making more devices compatible with these, so you can actually control them all via your voice. But it's just researching, maybe look on Google's website as well to see what benefits you can get out of it. And YouTube is always a good resource and font of knowledge for getting the best out of your devices. So if you're ever on YouTube, just say what can I do with my smart device, and it will give you an array of different options, and features, and how to unlock them as well and how to enable them.
Yeah.
And if you're in the kitchen, Sue, you can ask for recipes. And you used to be able to do it. I don't know if you can anymore, but you can pause it when you're getting the ingredients and cooking instructions.
That would be really useful.
Yeah,
I used to spend a lot of time going backwards and forwards from the magnifier looking at a recipe because I can't memorize it.
Yeah,
and I get so frustrated that I sort of give up in the end.
I use Recipe Keeper, but I don't have a Google or an Amazon speaker right now, but they're great I have a lot of friends that do it that way because the magnifier you're squinting and
yes, so you just end up taking ages. I remember I made a Christmas cake in about a day.
Yeah, so it really does speed things up. So
it's just ridiculous, and you just the things I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. Yeah, it says 20 minutes prep and half a day later.
Yes.
And the good thing is when you're baking and it goes in the oven, you can just say to your smart device, you know, set a timer
remind you to turn the oven on.
set a reminder,
Yes.
you know, to turn over or, you know, bake the other side or something like that. You know, I use mine to set timers all the time, you know.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And alarms, they're brilliant, you know. I ask it the weather a lot, the time a lot. And another good feature that I love is where's my phone? If I put my phone down, I ask my G, where's my phone? And it will say, would you like me to call Mark's Samsung S25? Yes, please. And it'll just start ringing it. So you know, it's very, very good. And I've also got the dogs paired to my Google as well, so I know where they are. You know, so if I ever leave the dogs, I've got them paired to my Alexa. I'll explain. They have these little tag tiles on their collars. So and I actually can say
you can find the dog.
Yeah, it will say, I'll say where it is. Ring Penny, and it will actually ring her collar. So I know she's upstairs or she's under a table or she's hidden herself. Or if it's chiming from outside that I've left her out in the front garden.
Yes.
You know, and also
they don't bark, do they?
Not only when someone walks past.
Tara goes out in the garden, she doesn't bark.
Yeah.
She'll be just this tiny little sort of whine. And she's like, oh, I just left the dog in the garden.
They're very good. They've got location on them as well, so you can actually say where is my dog, and it will actually say well, it was last seen at this location. So you know, there's so many things that you can actually pair with your smart devices, not only to keep you safe, but to keep your family safe as well.
Caroline doesn't know it, but he's tagged her too. So
yes,
she can't hide on him.
They're actually linked to another app. You can link the Tile app not only to Google, but you can link it to another app called Life 360.
Oh, that's an amazing
And it actually gives play-by-play. So when I was doing a charity walk, Caroline was tracking me, you know, in real time.
Idea.
So she knew exactly where I was.
Yeah, brilliant.
So
Mark, was that with the Google or the Alexa?
It's actually the brand is called Tile.
Oh, I see.
And and Tile, Tile, and they have an array of different sizes. So the ones that are ideal for your pet are a little bit bigger than maybe like a 10p, you know, probably about 3 or 4 mil thick, and they've got it's called the Tile sticker, and it's got a really, really strong adhesive, so they're designed to stick on your dog's tag. And then you download the Tile app, you link it to your Google or your Alexa, and away you go. But you can get ones that are as thin as a credit card. If you wanted to keep one in your wallet, like Scott said, if you wanted to track, you know, someone. But each one has got different features depending on whether it's waterproof, whether it's got a removable battery, you know, battery life, because some only last a year, but then some can last up to 3 years, or you can get ones where you can remove the battery. It all depends on what how much you want to pay, you know, depending on what model you want. So yeah, that's a good.
Mark, I went and asked my daughter who's got a Amazon show, is there a way that you can switch her off? So along the top on her one, there's a round button, then there's a minus, but you can feel it as a minus button, a plus button, and then there's a slider, which is the sliders for putting the video on and off.
Oh, okay.
But the left-hand side button, that's the one that you activate her. And when you activate her, then there's a menu comes up on the screen, and one of the options there is do not disturb. So I'm wondering if Ben has by accident hit do not disturb. So I'd imagine if you activate her and then ask her to come off do not disturb, then I would come off. So that's what I'm wondering, because I went and asked her, because they've had shows for years. I don't use a show because I can't be bothered with the screen. I just use a speaker type one. But that's what she's saying. When you press the left-hand side button, her one, I don't know what version she's got. She's got her one's a fairly new version that she got at Christmas or the end of last year. Sitting the left-hand button is the activation button, which is a round button.
Excellent.
I'll try that. Thanks for that. Brilliant.
Excellent. I know the Googles and
Not saying it'll work, but worth a shot.
I know the Googles, they actually have, you can turn the microphone off as well, so there's a switch for that. So yeah, just check the buttons on the back of it. So.
Nicola.
Nicola. Sorry, Nicola. Have you got your hand up?
You answered it. I was use it for alarms. So if I'm going out to catch the bus, I'll set her to give me a 10-minute warning.
Yeah, very good for that.
Yeah.
Oh, what is that linked with the bus times?
Well, only in my head, but yeah.
Oh, I see. Yes, I see. It's not telling you the bus is in.
No.
It's just reminding you.
Yeah.
But I bet they probably do now.
Yeah.
I would imagine, because you have the app on your phone where you can get TFL, or I use Move It, and I don't have a pod but you can. A lot of things now are being implemented right into there. So because the app's there, I'm sure you can download it onto your Alexa or your Google Pod. I bet you could, well, you definitely could ask the question, when is the 170 coming eastbound to Tottenham or whatever? And it would tell you. So
I do actually ask it directions. So if I will actually say, directions from one tube station or one train station to the next, or I want to get to here by train, and it will actually say you need to catch the Avanti West Coast departing here at 7:21. So it does actually come up. It must pull train timetables from somewhere. So it's really good for mileage as well, if you want to know the distance from somewhere.
My Alexa didn't tell me buses. I asked it. I don't know whether it has to be linked up with something.
There may be a skill. So in the Alexa app, like what Gemini said, in the Alexa app, you can enable different skills and third party. So I supported someone to help them with enabling their talking books and their talking newspapers. There may be something in there. If you scroll down them and then you enable bus timetables, it might actually start reading them out for you. But because it's a third party app, you have to agree to it, and you have to sort of in yourself. Excellent.
Mark, can you hear me?
Yes.
Mark, what's the best approach to listening to podcasts? I've got Alexa and I've subscribed now to Audible, and I'm just getting my head around Audible books, but it says there about podcasts. Is there a audio way, because I can't see anything? So can I ask it for specific podcasts?
If you've got podcasts enabled on your Audible, see, I don't know with Audible whether you get free podcasts or whether it's another subscription. So if you've got Spotify, for example, that will actually open the doors to lots of podcast channels, including Retina UK's, for example. So that's who we would use, and I think we actually use Google Podcasts and one other. But it's just looking at your Audible and seeing what features you actually have enabled, or literally just ask it. Sometimes you'll be very surprised when asking your device to do something. You'll be sometimes very surprised when it actually does it, and you think, "Oh, I didn't know it could do that." So maybe.
Do you have to know what you're looking for? Do you have?
Podcast. If you know the name of the podcast. So, for example, if once we finish this meeting, if you wanted to all just say. Either G or A podcasts from Retina UK, and see what comes up, and if you've got podcasts enabled on your device, it will actually play them. Or it might actually say you need to enable podcasts, or you need to subscribe to, a podcast channel first.
Yeah. BBC do it, don't they? On the BBC Sounds, they have podcasts too, don't they?
Yeah, and I think there's so many podcasts that you can listen to, but it's just knowing what you want to listen to, or you could just ask your smart device, find me a podcast around gardening, and you'll be surprised what might pop up.
All right, okay, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, let us know what you find out. Anyone that has any joys with commands and knowing what to say to your devices, please do share me, your experiences, and your frustrations when things don't work as well as the ones that do.
I've just put myself on mute and asked A-Lady to open podcast for Retina UK, and it says you can skip forwards and backwards. And the last podcast that was put up was Look Forward issue 172, and it starts playing it. But
excellent.
And to my knowledge, I don't have any podcast skills enabled apart from Audible, but it's picking that up. The Retina one, it's saying it's picking it up from Amazon Music. That's
brilliant.
where it said it was picking it up from. That's the only one I've just tried. I just put myself on mute and just tried it, and that's what came up. So yeah, I think you're right. Another really good podcast to do with Alexa commands is, if it still goes out, it's Dot to Dot. That is a really good one. I can't remember the guy's name that does it. I'm sure he lives Birmingham area. That is a very, very good podcast. And if you don't get it on A-Lady, you certainly can get it on Apple, on the actual podcast. I don't know if you call it the podcast store. I don't know if that's what they're called.
And that's what Dot to Dot.
Dot to Dot, yeah. So I think it was originally set up when obviously the original Alexa came out, was called a Dot. So it's all to do with different skills. So it's called Dot to Dot. If they still do it, and if they don't, it's worth even going back to a lot of them, because one of the things I learned from there was Lemonade Stand, which is an amazing game to play, and it's all by voice. You buy your lemonades, and it's actually quite addictive.
All right. I'll give it a go.
Yeah, there you go.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, if anyone's got any other games and stuff like that they want to share, please again fire them away. I've got a game for the Alexa that I will be sharing with everyone. It's both brilliant and just makes you want to just go into one. It's called Quickfire Quiz. And it's really good at brushing up on your general knowledge, but it is frustrating when you can't beat your latest high score, and I'm on it all the time. But it's really good brain training, or if you want to brush up, if you're going on a pub quiz, it's really, really fun game. So literally all you say is Alexa, open Quickfire Quiz, and it pops up and it gives you instructions of what you've got to do and the top high score for that day. And then literally away you go. So it's a really fun game. Have we got any other hands up?
Not at the moment.
Right. How are we doing for time? Quarter two. So I'm just going to wrap up. So I also wanted to share with you all. So now we know about these devices. Is that a question?
Well, if you've got time at the end, I wanted to ask about, the wearable glasses which interpret the world around you, even if you can't see anything. If you had time, maybe you could give us your view on those, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've actually got it's in SAR, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have actually done in the last Talking Tech into SAR, I did a little bit of a rundown on not only you're talking about the Meta Ray-Bans, and they've just launched, obviously they've got the second generation out, but they are launching the third generation with even more features. Meta have now teamed up with Oakley to produce another brand and style of smart glasses, but Samsung are also bringing out their smart glasses later on this year to rival the next generation Metas, and they're called the Samsung XR. And again, they are going to have an array of all sorts of smart features, including AI. And what I'll do is I can either catch up with you off air, and I'll also share with you the last Talking Tech, and also I've got a soundbite that I can actually share with you as well if you're interested.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Excellent. No worries. Yeah, no, I'm pretty up on the smart glasses at the moment as I'm looking to get myself a pair. So no, thanks very much for your question. So
Yeah, and they're coming very fast. There's also Eco, I believe, that is coming out. You just got to sort of be patient with them. The Oakleys aren't going to be out until 26.
no.
Out of Canada, they're pre-ordering on July 11th. They're going to be a bit more expensive than the Meta glasses, I think. And then you got to, they're more of a wraparound in sports glasses, but Mark will look fantastic in them. So
I do love a pair of Oakley sunglasses. That's the ones I actually wear at the moment. I'm hoping that I can actually get the same color lenses that I've actually got in my current Oakleys. So and any news or updates, I will be sharing that in the Talking Tech peer support group, either on the 15th of July or the next one will be in September. So I'll keep you all updated on that one.
Yeah, those of you that have brightness issues, the Oakleys, apparently, I have no sight, but friends that have looked at them, they're really going to be a sort of a wraparound to keep a lot more of the sunlight out than the Ray-Bans do. That's apparently, but again, the lady last night, Brenda, was saying even the piece between the nose is more closed off than the Ray-Bans are to keep that bright light out for those of us that have our retinas wide open and the sun bothers. So
any information I will carry on sharing that top tips and stuff. So so I've got so obviously now we know we've got our smart devices. So what can we actually pair with them? So some of the devices that I've actually got, I'm hoping that this still works. So this is called the Nest thermostat. It's now Google Nest. And this is a stainless steel. I think that's stainless steel. It's got a glass front. It's probably, I would say, about 3 inches in diameter, maybe a little bit smaller. And that actually just sits on my wall, and you actually twist it, depending on, like, if you're dialing round the clock, to what you want to do, whether you want to turn the heating on, whether you want. And the good thing about this, it's naturally in high contrast mode. That's what actually drew me to this rather than the other brand that you can get, you may all know, is the Hive system, which is pretty much exactly the same. But when I looked at the Hive, I wasn't that thrilled with the size of the display. It wasn't in high contrast, so I kind of went with the Nest brand instead. So that is called the Nest thermostat, and I think they're probably on about generation 3 or even 4 now, because this is probably about 5 years old. At least 5 years old, but it's still really, really good. And obviously then you connect the relay to the bottom of your boiler, and then that will actually allow you to then connect it to your hub, and then it just then can communicate with the boiler itself. So I use that to turn on my heating, turn the thermostat up or down, just by saying, hey G, turn on the heating, and away you go, or turn thermostat down to 20 degrees. It's brilliant. So along with Nest products, which are now Google, I also have, to keep your home safe, I also have the Nest Protect smoke alarms, and these are smart alarms that are wired in, that have an auxiliary battery pack which is rechargeable just in case we get a power cut. And again, I can control them using the Nest or the Google Home app for monitoring Wi-Fi connectivity, carbon monoxide, and also smoke as well. So they're a really good addition to have. We've got one downstairs and we've got one upstairs, and they're linked together, and they're in full communication with me. And at the end of each month, I actually get what's called a Nest Home report from Nest themselves, and it tells me all the details of how much usage my thermostat has used, so how many hours my heating's been on, and if my my smoke alarms have detected any smoke, if they're running, when the last manual check was, and every month you will hear a beep, 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 and then that's when it actually does its thing, or it will say test in 10 seconds to actually test the sound for both smoke and also carbon monoxide. You can get a pack of them. They're not cheap. They're about £150 each, but you can actually get a pack of two. I think I paid about 250. So if you get a twin pack, then it's worth a lot. It's more beneficial. But over the standard smoke alarm, they are so much better than your standard one if you want to go for a smart smoke alarm, and that's the Nest Protect. So some other things I've got that I actually use. So let's find me Energenie stuff. So the other unit that I actually use to control my home is called My Home, and it's by a company called Energenie. And My Home spelled MIHOME. And with a little hub, which is this little box here, which sits underneath my radiator cover, which is connected at the back into your router, and then it just uses a standard USB charger to power it. It's very light. It's probably about 3 inches square by about an inch tall. And that just kind of sits. That is what's called the gateway, and that's what controls all your devices, and is what's linked to your Google as well. So some of the devices I've actually got linked to this is a plug adapter. Again, you download the Energenie My Home app and you pair all of your devices like this adapter. And this is one that controls one of my lamps in our living room. I've just unplugged it to show you. It's a very light. They're quite stylish as well, so they don't look too out of place. And what do you reckon? They're about sort of 4 inches tall. With a plug at the bottom, and then you've got a button on there that helps you pair it. There's a little LED light on there as well. To pairing it is a little bit frustrating for someone that's visually impaired, because it does actually say wait for the light to stop blinking. Well, if you can't see it, then you're going to struggle. It would be good if Energenie start doing more audible cues rather than visual ones. I have had a moan at them about improving their accessibility, but like everything, it just goes in one ear and out the other. But they're a good device. You can actually get Energenie plug sockets that you actually wire into your wall, so you wouldn't actually need these. And the same with light switches. We've actually got 2 light switches in our living room, one that controls our wall lights, one that controls our patio lights. And it's just it's a light switch that you pair up, and it is controlled by the Google and the Energenie My Home. So you can go into the app and you can switch all your devices on, or you can just ask Google to say turn on wall lights or turn on patio lights. I've got what's called a routine set up, as Google mentioned. So I can come down in the morning and I just ask Google, wake up in the winter time, and it will turn on all of my downstairs lights that I want it to. Or I'll actually say it's getting dark, and it will turn on my porch light, my gate lights, and my patio lights all simultaneously. So you don't have to go around switching on individual switches. It does them all together. And you can program them as timers as well. So if you want them to come on at 6 a.m. or go off at 11 a.m., they will all sort of work on timers as well. And that moves me on to this little device as well. It's tiny little, probably about the size of a box of matches. And it's actually got a tiny little dome on it, which is probably about the size of a 10p. That is an Energenie My Home sensor. So I've got one of these. I've taken this out off the back door frame, and I've got one out the front as well. So if anybody walks anywhere near me, in my house or around it, it's a motion sensor. And what I've done is I've paired that to the lights. So if someone walks into the garden, they will trigger this and the lights will come on, and they'll stay on for 5 minutes. and then they'll go off again. And I've got one out the back as well. So that's really good if you want to, you know, alert. Yeah. And you can also add other things to it as well. So when motion is detected, I'll get a notification on my phone. It will say motion is detected in front garden, or motion is detected in the back garden. And it's really good, especially when you're on holiday or something like that. You can keep an eye on your home. So that is some of the Energenie stuff. Cameras, and I'll finish off with, what time are we doing? All right for time? 2 minutes. So we're doing all right for time. So to help with protecting your home, where's the other one? There it is. Amazon obviously are have teamed up with Ring, or Amazon own Ring. So I've got the Ring doorbell Pro 3, which is really good if you're out and about and you get deliveries. You can see where they've been left, or you can pull it up and say, you know, just leave with a neighbor. So video doorbells are really good. And funny enough, I actually prefer the Ring doorbell over the Google doorbell, purely because you can remove the battery in the Ring one, which you can't in the Google. You have to take the whole thing off the wall and charge it, which means you're without a doorbell for, you know, 4 to 6 hours until the battery's fully charged. So that's the Ring doorbell out the front. This is called the stick-up camera. If you can see that. We go. There we go. This is the stick-up camera. It's an outdoor camera that you can mount upside down. It's got a swivel base on it, so you can actually twist it whatever way you want it to get it in the right position. Again, this is a Wi-Fi camera, just like the doorbell, so there's no wiring required. But again, depending on your recording quality, you know, the battery could last anywhere from say 2 to 4 months before you have to take it down and recharge it. So it comes apart really easily. So you just twist it. Oh no, I haven't. That's it. I've screwed it in. So it's got a screw in the bottom, and you unscrew the screw, and then you take the base off, and then you'll find the battery inside. I think we probably get about 2 months battery life on that before we've actually got to change it, because we've actually got the quality of the camera quite high. So that is called the Ring stick-up cam, and that's the outdoor one as well. You can actually get the indoor stick-up cams. They're a lot cheaper, but obviously they're not IP rated for outdoor weather. So that's a Wi-Fi camera. I've also got out the front this system, and this is by a system. Again, I can control viewing the footage on the TV. I can just say, hey G, show front yard camera, and it brings it up either on my display, or I can actually beam it to the Google Chromecast, which I've actually got plugged into my telly. If I want to see a big screen of footage, or if Caroline wants to see it, then we can actually view what's on the camera on our TV. So this is, I've got 2 of these. I've got one pointing out towards our car, and I've got one pointing towards our front door. And this one I've taken down from our back garden, which is pointing at our back gate. This system is wired. Bit of a faff to wire it. I wired it all myself through the loft. And the wires connect to what's called a DVR, which records all your footage, keeps it all safe, so it's not stored on a cloud, keeps it all under one roof. And again, we can actually review motion and any footage recorded through the smart app that comes with the Swan system. I picked this one up for a few years ago. It was about 259 quid with 4 cameras. And most DVRs actually allow you to actually have up to 8 cameras if you wanted a massive system set up, whether you want to put the cameras indoors and out. So that is basically the camera that I've actually got. So
Mark, can you converse with the person that might be hanging around your front door?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
you can just say, hi, who are you? So, oh, I'm Mark. my friend said to check up on his house, and I said, "Well, I'm the friend, and I don't know you." So, I have a friend. He was at his cottage, and guy was lurking around his garage. He said, "Hello, how are you?" And the guy dropped his toolkit and scared the heck out of him. So he was able to
The, the
walk him
downside
away.
the downside to communicating, especially with delivery men now, we all have experienced this. By the time they've rung the doorbell, they've dumped it on the doorstep, and all you see is the back of them, and they're on their heels before you've even had a chance to say, "Would you mind popping it behind the bin?" or, "Would you mind popping it by the neighbours?" But we can, both devices, we can actually enable audible, so we know who's outside, and we can actually communicate with them as well. That was just a few of the devices. I've got one more briefly to show you to help you. If anyone struggles with Wi-Fi in their home, I've got these little devices that I've got plugged into my plug sockets all over the place. It's a little box, and it's got a Ethernet cable plug at the bottom. You plug one of these, they come in packs of 2 or 4. You plug one in a plug socket next to your router, and then what that does, they're called power over Ethernet adapters, and they're by a company TP-Link or Powerline, and you can actually then plug the other one in any plug socket in your home, and then you can actually plug an Ethernet cable into it and then into your laptop or your PC, and it just turns your home into one big Ethernet network. So you don't have to worry about if you get any dead spots, or you're up in the attic and you've got no Wi-Fi, or you're down in the basement, or you've got a summer house, for example, and the Wi-Fi is not particularly good up there, and it's all running off the same consumer unit for your electricity. You can take one of these up to your summer house or your guest house, plug them in, and you've got instant internet, via a wired method. So they are really, really neat, and they only cost about 50 quid for 4. They're becoming very cheap now if you've got any Wi-Fi dead zones in your home. So
Mark, what were they called again? TP, what did you say?
So
sorry?
the company's called is TP-Link. And you can get loads of them. So if you just type in to Amazon power over Ethernet or PoE Powerline, they are really, really good. So if you've got the router downstairs, because that's where your phone line is, but you've got an office upstairs, and you don't want to trail cables, all the way up your stairs and under your carpets and stuff like that, they are really, really good, and you don't lose any power. Considering they're using the electricity cables, you don't lose any power or any loss of bandwidth or anything. They're very, very good.
Yeah, because even though you've got the boosters that EE sent us, sometimes like if you're sitting out the back, because they're routers at the front of your house. I don't live in a mansion by any manner of means, but when you're sitting out the back, I could do with one of them probably. We've got actually a plug just at the back door of running that. And how long are the cable that runs from it?
So
it's just a plug.
Yeah, well, RJ, it's the cable's called RJ45, and you can get them from in any computer store.
Right, okay.
And they come in loads of different lengths,
Lengths, right, okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
But just make sure you're getting what Mark says, though, the TP line, the power over Ethernet, because if you get just the boosters, which are Bluetooth, they don't
I think
work.
I had them years ago. They're useless.
Yeah, they don't work.
They don't work.
Yeah, they work, but they're not.
No.
What
Mark's talking about are much better.
Power over Ethernet, right? Okay, thank you.
And not only that, they keep your internet secure. Something that I found out with Sky is when I use one of their boosters and I plugged it in, it didn't ask for a password, so it just boosted my Wi-Fi signal. But anyone could have gotten it. I was very surprised that it didn't actually ask me to put my password in when I wanted to connect to the booster rather than the main Wi-Fi. So I ripped that out straight away, and I've never used it since. That's why I've gone over to these. And obviously this was a while ago when Wi-Fi wasn't that great, but we all experienced dead zones here and there. But these are a good alternative. So I'll actually share some recommendations in the follow-up email, ones that have got some good reviews and the ones that are actually quite small and discreet as well, so they don't take up too much room.
Okay, thank you.
Has anyone got any final questions? What time is it?
Mark,
8 minutes. Yeah.
I've heard something about those power line adapters,
Mm-hmm.
and that is that if you've got one person using the power line adapter and getting their broadband via Ethernet into their laptop, say, then the bandwidth which remains for somebody else on Wi-Fi in the house, that can go down.
It depends. It depends. I personally have never experienced that. We have got a lot of devices that all run, like tonight. I'm actually running the laptop purely on Wi-Fi, but I've got a lot of devices either running off one of these PoEs, like my PC, for example. But even the Skybox is running off of broadband. But it all depends on what speeds you're getting to start with. If you've got low broadband speeds, because that's the package you're on, then you will be limited to what you can actually receive and how many devices that you can actually have running at any one time. I think we've probably got about, including our smartphones and everything, probably about 25 devices that are all running Wi-Fi, because we've got quite a smart home, but we never ever lose any connectivity from anything.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just looking into it.
Yeah. Also, just going back to, you were talking about changing the battery on a Ring doorbell.
Yes.
One change which I've made, because I got fed up with changing the battery, a spare battery, and one would be on charge, and then one would be in the unit. So when the one in the unit runs out, you can quickly swap over to a fresh battery.
Yes.
But one thing I've invested in, it wasn't very expensive, was you can get these solar panel chargers, especially for the Ring doorbell. So it's like a little panel which fits on the back of the Ring doorbell. It's got 3 very thin solar panels on it. So if the sun shines in that direction, then it trickle charges your battery all the time the sun is shining. So that really helps.
They're good if you're on holiday.
It's useful if you can't run the mains to that location.
Yeah. No, we'll find that actually. I've seen those before in Tesara, and I'll include that into the follow-up as well if anyone does have. And I think they do actually fit. I don't think there's that many models. I think they're pretty universal. They can fit any Ring doorbell. It's just a cradle that sits behind it. So yeah, definitely. Thank you. It's a good tip.
Yeah, it just saves constantly charging the battery up.
Excellent. Do we have any? We've realised it's about 10 past. Does anyone have any final thoughts or any questions you want to share, or any issues or home tech that you want to share with us?
Mark, real quickly, I know you always forget to water Caroline's plants, so there's now smart hygrometers that you can put in the soil near your plants, and it'll let you know, oh, it's time to water.
Yeah, wow. If you know what that is, because we did have in the very first home and garden, there was lots of people that enjoyed the gardening and the growing vegetables. I would like to find that device and share that with everybody.
Okay, well, I'll send a couple of them. There's a lot, so it's a matter of, and they range in many prices. So I'll send a few of them, but I'll send the name, and you can go on and Google and make your decisions. I have not tested one because I'm in a flat. So when I go back home to Canada in a month or so, I'll probably get one to try and test them out. So I will send the names of them. couple of them for you.
Excellent. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And speaking about obviously hydrating and keeping cool, I mentioned that I have a tall standing oscillating fan that is by a company called Dreo, and it's called the Tower Fan, and it stands 3 feet tall? So about 3 feet, about 3 feet tall. And it's the model that you can pair with your smart device. So the buttons are not very tactile, even on the device. So it's not very accessibility friendly to program it and switch it on via the device or the remote control that it comes with, unless you want to stick bump-ons all over it. But we paired it to the Google, and now I can just come in and just say, turn on Tower Fan, start oscillation level 3, and it just beeps away and it just comes on straight away. It's a great little addition. We did pay about how much was it? It was about 80. It was from Amazon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We bought it from Amazon, but I'm sure you'll be able to see it in other electrical stores and high street electrical stores if you wanted to go and check one out before you buy one. But we're really happy. My parents had the normal one, and we saw that there was one that you can control by Google, so we thought, we have to have that. And it's brilliant. It's keeping our house cool right now, and it does a really good job as well. So.
When are you and Caroline leaving the house the next time for a weekend? Sounds like a nice shopping. We could all go shopping at Mark's.
Oh, speaking of shopping, if you've got an Alexa, you can actually, and you've got an Amazon account, you can actually say to Alexa, I'm shopping for. Ask it what you're shopping for, and it will give you the top recommended items based on your description. And if you want to go to the next one, you can go next, or you can add it to your basket, or even pay for it through your Alexa device if you've got the buy now set up. But I thought that's really good because I can't use Amazon anymore, so I'm always adding stuff to Caroline's shopping basket. If I'm buying bits and bobs and all sorts, I can listen to the description, ask it questions, and it will find me all sorts of information. So definitely worth trying that one out as well.
Yeah. Again, can you include Caroline's account information with the next letter?
Unfortunately, that would be sensitive information, and she would shoot me. I've probably got about 15 items in her basket anyway. You know what I'm like with fishing rods and all sorts that I'm tinkering with at the moment. So, no, thank you, everyone, for sharing your home smart device tips and hints. If you've got any others that you want to share, please drop me an email or a text message. My mobile number is 07889 595 That's my work number. Please drop me a text message if you've got anything that you'd like me to include. That number again is 07889 595 If anybody is listening to this via a YouTube channel, please share your feedback, hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would be much appreciated. And if anyone has any feedback they would like to share regarding this meeting this evening, please do send it over my way. It does help us with funding new and more interesting talking series peer support groups. And on that note, please join us for our Talking Tech, because we're being joined by Sam CV, the pioneer behind the Blind Life YouTube channel. He's going to be giving his rundown of top tech that's worth looking out for throughout to 2025. He's a man in the know, and he's going to be joining us on Tuesday, the 15th of July at 7 p.m. So all details are available on our website for that one. So please do come and join us. If you have any more information or you would like to know more about Retina UK, please drop us a phone call on our helpline 0300 111 4000, or check out our website, which is retinauk.org.uk, or email us at info@retinauk.org.uk. So thank you very, very much, everyone. Thank you very much to Caroline for supporting with the comms. I hope you enjoyed tonight's meeting, and we look forward to seeing you at the next Home and Garden Talking peer support group from Retina UK. Thank you again. My name is Mark Baxter, and I hope you have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Take care. All the best. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We hope you've enjoyed this Retina UK peer group recording. If you have any questions or queries regarding its content, or you would like to leave us some feedback, then please do get in touch. You can contact us via a helpline on 0300 111 4000, call the office team on 01280 821 334, or alternatively, you can contact us via email at services@retinauk.org.uk. If you are interested in creating your own peer support group and assisting Retina UK to grow our peer support group network and join our amazing team of volunteers, then please do get in touch by contacting us at info@retinauk.org.uk and speak to a member of staff to see how you can get involved. Thanks again for listening, and please stay tuned for more peer support group recordings coming throughout this year. Take care and all the best. Bye for now.